Hi, this is Trey Pastor. I just want to talk about because I just found out that James Gunn is going to be at Comic Con this summer, and which I think is in. Hold on, let me. I think it's going to be before. When is Comic Con? Comic Con 2025 date. Oh yeah, July 24th to uh, July 27th. That's after, of course, Superman comes out because Superman comes out on the 11th. But they said James Gunn is going to be there and he's going to answer all kinds of questions. And I guess he's there to promote, Peacemaker comes out in August. And I guess he'll still talk about Superman because it'll be been out at that point by like almost 2 weeks. And also maybe talk about lanterns and everything else, and maybe give us a little sneak peek of Supergirl. I would love to see that. And they said he's like say he's going to answer questions and stuff. So um, I would love that because James Gunn is very forthright in his talk, and also he mentioned before that he was working on the writing stage of another project, and I'm wondering if that is going to be because I made a video, and I'll link it in the description box. What I think his next project is going to be. I think it's going to be a World's Finest movie. I think it might be, again, or at least I'm hoping that it's going to be a World's Finest movie. And I would love, again, like I said in that video, that in this Superman movie that he has that maybe he's already cast as Batman. That would be good. Okay, and then maybe do that first. Have Batman in the World's Finest movie first before you put him in. Like maybe let him cameo in Superman movie, then do the World's Finest movie with him and David Cornsweet, and then do the Batman Brave and the Bold movie. Okay, where you can introduce more members of the Bat family. Okay, I think that would be good because we gotta wait to go for the Batman 2, which is coming out in 2027, I believe. So I think if James Gunn is, let me do this, try to figure out this in my head. If James Gunn's already in the writing stage, let's say he's finished writing, because he's already done Peacemaker and all that stuff, and Superman already. So say he's just in the writing stage, finished in the writing stage of let's say World's Finest movie. Okay, let's say, and he's already cast as Batman. Let's say if he's done that. Okay, then is it possible for him to maybe next year in 2026 start directing that movie? The reason I say that is because what if he does do that, right? Say he's like, let's say around maybe September, October, he's already finished the script for a World's Finest movie, right? And let's say and again, I know these are big ifs, and again, this is a video just for speculation. What if he's already done cast as Batman, right? Okay, which I think again the guy from 1923, that TV show, I forgot his name, Brandon something. I forgot his name, Brendan something. But I think he would be a perfect Bruce Wayne. I think he's 6'2", and he's tall. He kind of looks Bruce Wayne-ish and stuff. So I think that's good. And I do want a big Batman, a tall Batman. And as much as I like the guy that plays Reacher, he's been in a lot of things, and I don't see him as Bruce Wayne. For some reason, I just don't see him as Bruce Wayne. And I know he's been in a lot of DC projects and all that stuff. Alan Richardson, excuse me, I forgot his name for a minute. But I just, as much as I would love, but I want somebody that side. And again, this Brendan Skylar, I think that's his name. He's 6'2". Okay, he's a big guy. Okay, so I think him and again having a big Batman against David Cornsweet, 6'4", Superman would be a good thing. And I think in most descriptions, Batman is depicted as 6'2" anyway. I think in 6'2", like 220, something like that. I think that. I think I read that somewhere that's in most comic writers say that's kind of the description of Batman. That he's 6'2", about 220, solid muscle, of course, and so I would think that would be good. But now, again, this is just speculation. And so let's say again that he's finished writing the script before the end of the year, and he's cast as Batman already, and he has David Cornsweet right there, right? And we know the Supergirl movie is coming out in 2026, right? Okay, and say he starts filming the World's Finest movie in 2026, right? Let's say midway. And I know the Batman Part 2 comes out in 2027, but what's to say? I think that movie may come out in the fall. The Batman 2, okay, it may come out in in the fall of 20. I think the last time we heard it's going to come out in the fall of 2027. Okay, but until that's actually announced the exact date, I think that's wild speculation. But let's go with that for the sake of this video. And then why not if he start filming the World's Finest movie in 2026 and finish filming it, the primary photography and all that stuff before the end of the year of 2026, then you got that movie to go, and you could actually release that in the summer of 2027 before the Batman Part 2 comes out, or you can release it in 2028. Although I think the better thing is to release that movie if it's done and well by the end of 2026. Release that movie in 2027. I just still, because the Batman 2, until I have a definitive date about that and all that stuff, and we hear that finally that Matt Reeves has finished the script and he's starting principal photography on it exactly. I'm not gonna count 2027 because there's been delays already, enough delays with it and stuff. And if I was James Gunn, I would not count on that happening until I definitely hear from Matt Reeves. Okay, I get a definitive date. Meanwhile, you got to move on and keep producing stuff, and that's why I think that 2027. And again, this is my speculation. We know that Supergirl is going to cameo in the Superman movie, and we know probably Superman is going to cameo in the Supergirl movie. He'll probably be in the beginning of it, giving her crypto, because crypto is a big part of that story. So he'll probably be when she tells him that she's going to go off to celebrate her birthday, he'll probably tell her, take crypto with you, so to watch over, so he doesn't worry about her, because he knows crypto will protect her. And I think that's great. But I also think, like I said, we don't know if he's doing a World's Finest movie. Again, this is my speculation, but I think it makes sense. And I also think that we got a good chance that maybe David Cornsworth might be in Peacemaker season 2, because we know already from the trailer that Hawkgirl is in there, and Green Lantern Guy Gardner's in Peacemaker. Okay, and what's his name? The Snapper Carr is in there. Not Snapper Carr. Maxwell Lord, excuse me, Snapper Carr. Maxwell Lord is in there as well. And James Gunn did say there's going to be a big cameo towards the end of Peacemaker 2, and I think that might be David Cornsworth. That could be David Cornsworth, Superman. He just wants to keep that a secret, which I can see that. And also, like I said, I think a World's Finest movie would be great. Okay, just to establish that, and that's why I think there should be a cameo about a Batman. And if I was James Gunn, again, this is just me speaking, I would cast my Batman, okay, and that way I would have him cameo in the Superman movie in one of these after credit scenes, just so you can have a scene of establishing that Clark and Bruce are friends, okay, and then you can have maybe Bruce even calls him and tells him, listen, I got this problem I need your help with, okay, and then you can move on into the World's Finest movie with those two characters in it, okay. And I think, again, I think I have full faith in James Gunn that the Superman movie is going to be good, and the Lanterns TV show, I'm ready for that too. And like I said, he's going to be at Comic-Con, so I hope that we get, again, maybe some images from Supergirl from that movie, and maybe even some things from Lanterns too, because we know that's going to come out, I think, in next year, 2026. So, and maybe we'll get the exact date, because I don't think we've gotten the exact date of when Lanterns is going to premiere. Okay, we know Peacemaker's come out in August, towards, I think, August 21st, something like that, I think. But so we know that. But I also, again, when James Gunn, when they ask, I'm glad he's going to be at Comic-Con. So again, I think he said he's going to answer all the questions and stuff. So I hope people ask him about Lanterns, okay, about Supergirl, about maybe his next project being a World's Finest movie, and what's up with Brave and the Bold, what's the situation. So I'm happy that James Gunn is going to be at Comic-Con, okay, because I'm sure he'll be there, post Superman to promote, Supergirl movie that's coming out. And I know that we also heard about a Titans movie possibly being written, so maybe he can give us an update about the future DC projects that's coming up, and maybe what's happening with the Brave and the Bold movie, what's happening with the Batman 2, all that stuff. So I'm excited that James Gunn is going to be at Comic-Con, okay, because I think James Gunn is very forthright and honest with his answers and stuff. And again, I have total faith that with his plan for this universe. Okay, because James Gunn is a comic fan and he's also a brilliant filmmaker, and I have total faith in him that he's going to produce something great going forward with this DC universe. Anyway, let me know what you think of James Gunn being at Comic-Con. What questions do you think you want to ask him if you were there? Okay, feel free to leave comments down below. In the description box, I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Also, a link to my other channel, Paul Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. Also, I have a link down below to my Patreon. My Patreon is only $5 a month. Over 200 videos on there, 5 different categories. You get 5-minute preview clips of all the content that's on there. Follow the link; it'll take you there. Also, I have a link down below to my merchandise store. As you can see, I'm wearing my spherical circle. That's one of the shirts designs that I have. Also, I have my logo, my Trade Passer logo on t-shirts as well. And I sell t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, water bottles, t-shirts, teddy bears, water bottles. Again, like I said before, okay, for men, women, unisex. Follow the link; it'll take you to the merchandise store. Also, please give this video a thumbs up; it helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Paul Trade Passer, saying so long and take care.